Hello, I'm Batman. And my movies have kind of been sucking lately.
And I'm Superman. I made a lot of really good movies. And then some shitty ones. And then I said fuck it and died.
And I'm Deadpool, and I look great in red.
Mini Boss.
Nerd is the new sexy.
Hello, everyone. This is Nerd's the New Sexy, episode 75, a mini boss episode. Thanks for joining us. With me today is
Grizzly McBee. What's up, y'all?
And with me also is
Gambit, bitches.
So, what's the topic tonight?
Tonight we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite comic book characters of all time. The superheroes, yeah, they can be superheroes as long as they're a comic book. I don't even care if they're anime. They can be an anime character so long as they've got superhuman abilities of some kind and are in written format. Let's talk about them. Let's nerd about them. And yeah, I mean, I could start us off right away, which is super easy. You know what? Let me start us off with my number 5. Just a fantastic hero that I like, that I've always liked, that I've always loved. Is Iceman from X-Men.
Marvel, yeah.
Part of the original 1967 Uncanny X-Men series. He was one of the original cast members. Powers, as you may or may not know, he could turn his body into a full thing of ice, and he has complete control over ice. What's really dope about Iceman is, in the original comic books, he actually leaves the X-Men because he had the original love triangle with Jean Grey and Cyclops. It wasn't always Wolverine. That bitch just likes to cause problems between bros.
Jean Grey? Yeah.
Jean Grey just causes problems between bros.
Wasn't she like a hot redhead?
Oh, she's a super hot redhead. And redheads cause problems. Iceman was a part of the original cast, and eventually he left. He didn't leave for any major reasons. Like, there are a few storylines of different reasons why he left. And eventually he left and opened his own mutant team, basically, if you will. I've always liked him because he always fascinated me, because just the ability that not only can he control ice, but he can conjure ice on his own. Because you have characters like you had characters like Pyro who could control fire, but he couldn't create it. He always had to like have a fucking flamethrower in his backpack or a lighter or something. Yeah. No, Iceman could literally turn into a thing of ice and then shoot ice out or do whatever he wanted. Plus, what a great way to get around. He would run at full speed, jump, and then make an ice slide and then slide around. Fucking super dope. 2 big announcements for Iceman just happened in the past 10 years. One, he got classified as level 5 mutant. So if you don't know, in the X-Men world, if you're a level 5 mutant, that basically means at any given time, if you so choose, you can destroy the world. So that's a level 5 mutant. That's what classifies level. It's not necessarily your power per se, but it's just, can you destroy the world if you just like wake up and have a bad day and was like, hey, can I get an appletini? And then they're like, here's a Bud Light. And you're like, fuck it, the world's gone. You know,
fuck this. Ice Age.
Ice Age. And that's what he can do. He can basically freeze the entire atmosphere, all the water in the world that's around us, and make an ice age, and he would be the only one to survive. The other announcement, is whatever. They made him gay, so they outed him as gay, which he was one of the first gay X-Men, which is like, okay, whatever, didn't really care. I mean, I probably would care more if it was, because you always care more when it's like your demographic. Not my demographic. I love pussy. Iceman likes ice dick. Whatever. Don't care. I'm not judging. He's making icicles and sitting on them. Yeah. That's his business.
Yeah. Dick-shaped icicles.
Dick-shaped icicles, sitting on them. That's his thing. All truth be told, I really like him. I think he's a super strong character. He's definitely a character that you would want if I was building a mutant team. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to have a level 5 mutant? Like, seriously, why wouldn't you want to have a mutant on your team that's fucking level 5?
At least one.
That's at least one. So that's my number 5. That's where we'll start out with my number 5, and then we'll go down from there.
Okay, my number 5, he's kind of an anti-hero. It's the Swamp Thing. My top 5, they're all assholes in their own right. Kind of what draws me to them, because they don't take crap from anyone, and they're far from pushovers. Swamp Thing came around a bit before my time, back in 1971, July. He looks weird as hell in the comics, which, kind of brings out the imagination of like a plant zombie, if you would. I find him fascinating.
No, he's a very interesting character. There's a lot to Swamp Thing.
There's a lot to Swamp Thing. That's a very interesting choice. DC, especially DC. I wouldn't really call him. He's almost like Poison Ivy to the extreme, where he doesn't really give a flying fuck about the human world. Like, he only cares about his swamp, right?
Well, okay, yeah. Swamp Thing is a very good one. My number 5 would definitely be Spawn.
Spawn, good choice.
Spawn, I like, and when he got big, it was like the brooding hero was definitely a thing. Everyone loved the brooding hero, and I mean, you don't get much more brooding than Spawn. He's got that backstory. You know, he spent all this time in hell, and you know, he's kind of a badass. He's like a villain, but he doesn't want to be a villain. And it's one of those stories where you can go, hey.
Well, he actually is. He actually, when you really get into the graphic novels, he actually is a hero. You could put him into the classification of anti-hero, but he really is a hero.
Well, I say this because he was meant to be a villain. He was fated to be a villain. You're supposed to be Hell's General.
What it is when you really get into the graphic novels, shout out to Frank Miller being one of the fucking best out there. But
yeah,
when you get into the graphic novel, what it's really about is that everybody has that warriorness, like a killer, you know, and the armies of heaven and hell need those. So when you're born and they see that, one side almost picks you and molds it. Now you can be molded, and then by your choices, and then you can be recruited. But so it's not necessarily so much good and evil of who gets recruited, because you have to almost be a killer. Because hell wanted him so badly, they had Jason Wynn set him up and die right after he did a mortal sin, and he went to hell. Yeah. And then Malbosia, or Beelzebub, or El Diablo, depending on what you want to say, he made a deal and said, I'd give you back your wife if you become my general spawn. So out of love, he was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll lead your army.
I'll do whatever you want for Wanda.
Yeah, and then when he went back to Earth, and he saw his wife and realized that time has passed, the time is gone. Then he was like, well, you know what? Fuck hell, because you can't give me what you promised. So why the fuck am I going to work for you? And he rebelled. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, that's why that was a good choice. That's a really good choice, because I really like Spawn.
I'm a fan. Like, the movie was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but the movie was good. Didn't give it as much credit as it should have. You know what I mean?
The animated series on Showtime. That's what did it.
Yeah, that was a mind fuck. The animated series.
If you guys have any kind of downloading, if all the fans out there, if you guys have any kind of downloading system where you can download old shows or find it or whatever, look up Spawn from fucking Showtime or HBO.
It was HBO. I think it was HBO.
I think it was HBO, but
there was a lot of animated titties on that,
and animated titties and animated gore for days.
Yes. So we'll go back to you, Gambit, number 4.
So my number 4 on my list is Banshee.
I'm not familiar with Banshee. DC or
Banshee, Marvel. He was in the X-Men.
Okay.
He was a short-lived Marvel character. They actually put him in New Class, and I hate the way they did him in New Class. But basically, his power was basically what that is of a banshee. He had a supersonic scream, basically, that could kill you if you really wanted to.
Okay.
And he could fly. Now, they did it really shitty in X-Men First Class, where he was he would jump off a building and use his sound waves to project off of a wingsuit, and that's what would carry him. Really dumb. Really stupid, because in the comic books, for all my nerds out there, he could fly. It was he was one of the very few mutants out there, and that's why I love him. He was one of the very few mutants that had 2 mutant abilities. Yeah, he had a minor, because really, when you get down to it, the ability to fly is literally a level 1 mutant ability. You are no different. You are literally no different than a human, except you can fly. That means while you're flying, if I chose to, I could take a sniper rifle and be like, "It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a dead body." Like at least with Superman, like Superman could fly and he has super strength, but then there's a lot of characters in Marvel that could just fly, where Banshee could fly, and then he had that scream, that high-pitched scream that could break glass, shatter windows, blow up cars, and honestly kill you from the inside out. It was a sonic wave.
Could it stop bullets?
Concussion. It could stop bullets, yes.
Okay.
So now not the strongest power, but just super good, because again, if you want to think of I'm looking at my top 5 as almost a team. You got Iceman, who could literally come in and freeze somebody, and then Banshee could scream at him and explode the ice. Now you want to get in some gory death. Then on top of that, he could fly, so you have the mobility of the range. He's a super fucking good character.
Grizzly?
My number 4 is Wolverine.
Okay.
Gay! your face is gay.
Well, why do you like Wolverine so much?
No. We're not talking about Wolverine. You don't get to talk about Wolverine because every nerd debate where it's always our top 5, some asshole likes Wolverine. Fuck you and fuck Wolverine.
Well, there's a lot of Wolverine fans out there.
Yeah, why do you like him?
Well, for one, he's his name isn't Gambit, it's Logan.
Oh, see, you already fucked up right there. His name isn't Logan.
Well, you know what? Eat a dick.
You eat a dick.
Okay, well, continue why you like Wolverine.
Like the Swamp Thing, he's an asshole. For the most part, he does what he wants, what he feels will benefit him, unless it has something to do with somebody that he cares about. He hates authority. Growing up as a teenager, you hate authority, so you kind of, like the fact that, there's this comic book hero that, stands up to authority and pretty much gives him the middle claw. He's a good guy that is an asshole.
You're just like he's an asshole. I think we can all agree that Logan's an asshole.
No, here's the thing. I've done extensive research and Harvard studies on Wolverine.
Harvard studies. I just in my mind there's this fucking montage of you behind like a beaker and shit.
No, okay, so it's a great credit. Again, he is a great character. You're right. He's great. He's a very, very well written character. He's an asshole. These things I can't deny. And he is one of the most popular anti-heroes and all that stuff. And Hugh Jackman and the way Hugh Jackman looked made every nerd woman's pussy just cream in the seats. Like they had to change the upholstery in all the movie theaters when he came busting out of the water and flexing his muscles.
Fun fact: he was using real claws for a while, and then there was a point where he almost literally cut his dick off. He said this in an interview. After that, he stopped using the real claws.
Wow, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Wolverine Origins, and not the movie. And actually, the movie actually got pretty close. Actually.
Yeah.
Pretty close. So he was born. So the year set in the comic book, you can extrapolate to 1877 because he was 13 years old at the time of the incident. And the time of the incident took place in 1890 in Alberta, Canada, to a rich family. His name is James Howlett.
Where do you get Logan from?
Now this is well, sit down, baby bird. Let me feed you. So James Howlett's parents were extremely rich, and it was 1890. So they had a groundskeeper. The groundskeeper, he had a son that lived on the grounds with the groundskeeper and helped him do work. The son was the exact same age as James Howlett. The groundskeeper's kid, his name is Logan. They had another friend, Rose, and it was a 3 childhood friendship. Well, one night, Wolverine's mom was banging the groundskeeper.
Whore.
The dad found out about it. Yeah. He just knows how to work a hoe. What can he say?
No, literally.
So one night in a drunken argument, Wolverine's dad was confronting the groundskeeper, and they got into a fight. And the groundskeeper, in front of Wolverine and his mom, killed him. Wolverine lost his shit. I mean, lost it. At this point, his bone claws came out. He went into his first berserk rage, and he killed his mother, he killed the groundskeeper, and he killed Logan.
Oh, so the movie fucked that up.
He killed everyone. Rose finds this and sees this bloody scene, and his claws are retracted, so she has no idea that he did it. She scoops his ass up and takes him to the grandfather. The grandfather knows that he's a mutant because the claws come out with around the grandfather, and the grandfather hands Rose a fuck ton of money and goes, get this thing out of my family. He is no longer my family. Damn. All the while, Wolverine is still passed out, right? Yeah. He gets on the train. She puts him on a train, and they're heading to Alaska. On the way to Alaska, his ass wakes up. And he doesn't remember a goddamn thing because of his healing abilities. Yeah. And they explain this in the comic books. The reason why he has a hard time with his memories is because when you get a traumatic event in your brain, it scars it over. Mm-hmm. Now, eventually, now with Wolverine's brain, when his memory center gets scarred and traumatized as like a cut, his mutant healing ability will heal that over, i.e., erasing his fucking memory. So that erased out of his brain. So he woke up and looked at Rose and said, "Who are you?" She's like, "I'm Rose." He's like, "Who am I?" And she had a decision. And then her decision was, your name is Logan. That's where Logan comes from.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Now we know.
That was a long explanation.
That was indeed a lot. But you know what? Now we know, like I said. My number 4 would definitely be Flash.
Oh, good one.
I love
good ones.
I just love the character. I like Barry Allen all as a whole. I had to say Barry Allen because how many Flashes are there? There's Kid Flash. There's the original Flash. I can't remember.
There's Jay Garrick.
Yes.
Barry Allen. Wally West.
I just like the Flash's character in general. The speed, he's supposed to be fast. It's funny because he's supposed to be the fastest man on Earth, but like, there's how many other Flashes?
Well, I mean, as far as villains, as far as Speed Force villains, there was the Reverse Flash and Zoom.
Yeah.
Earth 2, there's Crisis on Earth 2 when you get into parallel dimensions, and there's another Flash there that's evil.
Yeah.
And yeah. But he actually is the fastest man alive. He's so as a matter of fact, I'm going to settle this goddamn debate once and for all. If you're actually a nerd, again, Gambits fun facts. For all you nerds out there, Superman and the Flash have raced 3 times in comic books.
Yes.
3 times they have raced. Twice it was a draw. The first time they raced was for charity. They both decided to win by a draw. The second race, from one angle, the Flash won. From the second angle, Superman won. They called it a draw. And the third one, not only does Flash beat Superman, but he beats him and gets a snack.
Gets a snack.
And then he digs a dig back to the original comic books and says, and Superman's like, I didn't know you were really that fast. And he goes, this wasn't for charity. Like saying, like, I'm a good guy, so I let you kind of keep up with me. Like, no, he is fat. The motherfucker can run through time and space.
Look, I like it. I like it this way. I like the fact that, that Superman isn't the best at everything, and the Flash can outrun him. Yeah, yes, the Flash can't be stronger than Superman, but he can sure as fuck be faster. All right, so you're number 3, Gambit.
My number 3 goes out to my man, Aquaman. I know everybody likes to rag on Aquaman. I love Aquaman because Aquaman, he seems like a bitch, and everybody loves to make fun of him. First of all, like you were just saying, the Justice League, everybody has a superpower that is comparable to Superman's and or better, but it's only one version. The Flash is faster. Batman is smarter and a better fighter, right? Mm-hmm. Wonder Woman, Lasso of Truth, just as tough. Aquaman is the strongest member on the fucking team.
Okay.
Aquaman is stronger than Superman.
Just for debate's sake, explain that, because there's people out there going, what?
Okay, so first and foremost, you got to understand that Aquaman literally lives under the ocean, the bottom of the sea, the pressure of which is so goddamn strong that when he comes to Earth, it's like living with a weighted vest on. He literally, the motherfucker can jump across continents and has done it, and that's not because he can defy gravity. It's because he never skipped leg day.
Leg day is every day in the ocean.
No, and again he do, and that trident of power gives him even more power. And a matter of fact, in the comic books of Earth 2 and Crisis of Earth, Superman fought Aquaman, and Aquaman beat the living tar out of him.
Damn.
Like, he just beat him down to a bloody pulp. Beat him. And there was something about the cartoons and the new movies that wanted to downplay his strength abilities. You are literally living under immense pressure. It is insane. Then you get into the fact that he can command all sea creatures. Let me say that again for all my lovelies out there. He can command all sea creatures. And I know the joke, especially on like Family Guy and other shows that like to make fun of him, is that, that only works if he's next to it. Whatever. He can literally make a Sharknado. Like,
I never thought of that.
There was one of my favorite comic books that showed the power of Aquaman and why I loved him. Is there was this epic war raging on Gorilla Island with Gorilla Grodd, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And everybody shows up and Aquaman's just kind of standing there like, and again, this is why I think that people give him, because, and Grizz, you would love Aquaman because he doesn't give a fuck. That's the problem with Aquaman. That's another reason why he gets made fun of, is because a lot of the missions with the Justice League, he doesn't care about the problems of the surface dwellers unless it affects his kingdom. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck unless it affects his kingdom. Anyways, so everybody's fighting Gorilla Grodd, huge army, and the Justice League is losing. And they go, Aquaman, get in the fight. He goes, oh, do you guys want me to fix this? And they went, what? And he just raised his arms, and a 40-foot tidal wave was behind him. and it crashes onto the island and wipes out all the gorillas. At the same time, he had a bunch of whales swallow the Justice League so they keep safe from drowning.
Wow.
Then he reseeds the water, spits them out from the whale like Jonah, and was like, okay, problem solved, I'm going to go back to Atlantis. Came in, and you gotta understand, 2/3 of our planet is covered by water. If Aquaman ever wanted to, at any fucking time, could just be like, and the world's dead. Oh, fuck with Aquaman, see if he doesn't just throw a trident up your ass.
Okay, you make a good point. You make a good point. So, and I see it, and I never really thought Aquaman was bad. I like talking shit from time to time about him because, it's easy. But he's actually a badass, So, moving on from that, okay, Grizz, give us your number 3.
Okay, now my number 3, I think a certain someone in this podcast right now would actually enjoy it, and that would be my number 3 is Gambit, Marvel.
Wait, you're saying there's a comic book character named Gambit?
I was unaware of this.
I'm taken aback. Tell me about him, please.
You're such a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I was going to say you're such a douche.
No, I really support you. Thank you. No, but since it's your number 3 and you brought him up first, go ahead, man.
From someone who grew up playing cards, when I first saw my first comic with Gambit in it, I immediately fell in love. I was like, okay, I need to learn how to throw cards. I need to figure out how to light them on fire. I need to stab people in the face with them. This guy is the coolest.
And he fights with a bow staff.
He uses what he knows. He doesn't have to go out and, buy stuff, make expensive stuff.
No, that's good. I mean, I can see your love for him. And I think everyone we're choosing is kind of a in a one way or another is a representation of ourselves.
It's kind of seeming that way, yeah.
In one way or another. And okay, so I guess it's my turn. What are we on, number 3? Donatello, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one.
The smartest of the group. You want to talk about a nerd? You want to talk about the guy who thinks things through? He's not the leader. He's not Leonardo, but he's the smartest of the group. Everything that he puts together is helpful to the turtles. But no, Donatello does machines. I've always liked Donatello. Donatello's always been my favorite Ninja Turtle because I just liked him. That's another thing. I like the bow staff. I think the bow staff is an amazing weapon.
No, you nailed it. I like your explanation that he's like the ultimate nerd. Like all of his brothers are bodacious and radical, and he's just like,
that's cool.
Bossa Nova.
Yeah, he starts making up his own words.
Bossa Nova. He's such a nerd. Yeah.
He's different, but he's cool different. You know what I mean? It was a good example of what made nerds different but yet acceptable.
No, I could totally get behind that. I like that a lot. Number 2.
Number 2.
And we're not doing. This is a rough one, man, because honorable mentions are there that are so close. I gotta do it. Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's my number 2. Isn't
that the guy that could do? He could like poof himself anywhere.
Yeah, kind of. So so Nightcrawler is the blue dude. For those who don't know, he's the blue devil. He looks like a devil. The fun fact: he was actually Mystique's son. He is actually. That's why he's blue. He's Mystique's kid.
And who wouldn't fuck the shit out of Mystique?
Plus, a girl that could be a different girl every day. Like, hey, baby, can you be Angelina Jolie today? So, like, real name Kurt Wagner from Germany. Very sad upbringing. So Mystique was pretending to be normal. She was actually a normal human, and she married
This when she was younger?
Baron. Yeah, this when she was younger. She married a baron and had this kid. And when the kid came out, he was a fucking blue devil. Literally, like he had the split tail. Yeah. Long tail. He only had 3 fingers on each hands, sharp teeth, blue. Not good times.
How do you explain that to the Baron? You're like,
she turned into her natural self, and he flipped out and beat her, or tried to beat her, and she beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And the worst part is it was told like Frankenstein story. He got the whole town to chase her and hunt her, and to save Kurt Wagner, she had to throw him into a river, very Moses-like.
See, this is one of the reasons I like, and I don't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry, Gambit, but this is one of the reasons I like a lot of the I'm more DC than Marvel, but this is one of the reasons I like and I respect Marvel, because they have storylines like that and it hits close to home. You know, you have this really sad fucking story. They're not afraid to pull their punches. This is giving birth and then going, hey, oops, look at me, I'm fucking blue.
Well, I always say, and it's not an insult. It's not an insult, and please, nerds out there, I don't mean it as an insult, but I've always said Marvel is more political, spiritual, and human-natured storylines, and DC is more fun, campy,
action. And that's why I think a lot of people relate more to Marvel, because I mean, listen, and I've said this before, and you got to hold that thought because I really want to hear what you got to say, but I think that people like Marvel because they can relate to the characters. You know, as a teenager, you know, especially with the whole fucking School of Xavier, you got this whole group that like are outcasts. And I mean, come on, in high school, there's how many people are outcasts in high school, Gambit?
Oh, and that's the whole point. I mean, that really you nailed the point that made Marvel such a beautiful thing, and how much depth of thought they put into this. When are you the most awkward, feeling alone, most awkward, isolated, feeling like nobody understands you and that your body is completely a freak of its own thing, and you're discovering these new things about yourself? Then puberty, and they put their mutant powers perfectly at that same age. Oh man, imagine trying to deal with a cracking voice, acne, and the fact that my dick shoots lasers. This is not a good time. So Nightcrawler, so his mom dumps him in a river. Now his powers were great too, because I love Kirk Wagner's power evolution, because in X-Men, that's another thing too that I love about X-Men, is as you get older and as you control your abilities, your powers get stronger. So that means you can start off as a level 2 mutant and eventually become a level 4. You can start off as level 4 and become a level 5. You can start off as level 3 and become a level 5. Or
you can stay like a level 1, right? Just if you don't.
Depending on Kirk Wagner eventually could only teleport wherever he could see, and eventually he met Osgood, however the fuck you pronounce his name. He was a red version of him, basically. And he could teleport anywhere he wanted, and then he taught Nightcrawler how to do it, and then, so he gets stronger, and so. But again, he was a master of martial arts and super agility. He was just a super fucking all around badass. And the funny thing that they always kept, which is one of those running jokes, again, why I like Marvel, because they like having running jokes, is that again, Gambit fun fact, unlike a lot of other mutants, when Nightcrawler disappears, he actually doesn't disappear. He doesn't actually teleport. He moves into another dimension and moves out of that dimension, and he moves at a rate so fast that the other dimension doesn't know he's there. As a matter of fact, the puff of smoke that always do, it is described in comic books to smell like sulfur.
So is it like what, is he going to hell?
Basically, yeah. They actually
the upside down.
They did a comic book where they gave him a suit that would slow him down during his teleports, and he teleported in and was basically floating through this dimension, and it was basically fire and hell and little demon monsters all around him. Oh shit. And he came back out, and it fucked him up so bad that he never wanted to go back there ever again. Like, he didn't want to teleport ever again. Okay. And then finally they had to explain to him, like, with science and shit, like, look, dude, you teleport at a point so fast that those demons don't even know that you're even there when you do it normal. He's like, knowing or not knowing, when I went through there that slow, they all saw me. And it's like, I don't want to do that again. Him up. Yeah, it fucked him up. So he didn't want to do it again in slow motion. Like, well, if I know in the movie, his character was very religious. It's the same way in the comic books. He's a super religious guy. Now, he never tattooed his body for his sins. That's bullshit. Well, yeah. Well, so imagine being super religious and then poofing and seeing all these demons and shit. So let's move on. Grizzly, what's your number 2? My number 2 is The Punisher. Good one. That's a very good one, yes. Yeah. And here is why. You always say that you will do anything for your family, you'll kill for your family, all this and that. He lost his family and annihilated a whole criminal syndicate. He followed right the fuck through. Which is what all of us claim we will do. But when it comes down to it, we don't technically have the balls to do so. Well, he also had, not only did he have the cojones, but he also had the training. Exactly. His whole thought was, I want my revenge for the loss of my family, but at the same time, these are bad guys here. Yeah. They need to die. They deserve to die. And he's got a pretty cool storyline. I mean,
Gambit talks shit about him like, oh, I lost my family, kind of like Batman. But at the same time, that is actually a good motivator. The only problem with that is once you avenge everybody, what the fuck else is left?
Other bad guys.
And I like the Punisher too. That's a good one too. That would be one of my honorable mentions. But okay, is there any more you wish to add on the Punisher?
That's why I chose him as my number 2. Have you
seen the new Netflix series?
Yes, I've watched it. It's amazing.
I straight binge watched it in one day.
My number 2, it might be a little different because I mean it kind of goes with my number 1 too. My number 2 would be Nightwing.
Fuck yeah, dude!
He was the first fucking Robin.
Original boy wonder.
The original boy wonder.
I wonder how he got into those short.
But no, he's the first boy wonder. He also it also shows that time goes by in the Batman universe. It's not just like The Simpsons, like where he's fucking 10 years old or 15 years old for the rest of his life. It shows that like life goes on after being Batman's apprentice, and he is the best example of that. I mean, we can't say Jason Todd because Jason Todd was kind of a failure in everything.
Kind of a bitch.
He was kind of a bitch. The only time Jason Todd got cool is the whole Red Hood thing. But,
no, I fully support your Dick Grayson. I love me some Dick.
Yeah.
I will fully support being a Nightwing fan. And not just Robin, but Nightwing. He grows up and he had that. And again, like you said, and it kind of funny that you already said it because you already kind of foreshadowed what you were going to say. He fights with not only a bow staff, but he then fights with 2 Sinawali sticks that are electrocuted.
He has just as well an arsenal, if not better, than Batman's. Because Batman doesn't have a main weapon. Batman's main weapon is his fist. But we'll get to that. Batman has credited him on multiple occasions of being 1, a better martial artist than him, and 2, a better detective. Yes.
And Batman is supposed to be the best detective ever. Mm-hmm. Well, gee, guys, I wonder what my number 1 would be.
It's Superman.
Fuck Superman with a fucking caped crusading dildo. It's 100% Gambit. Obviously, I modeled everything out of him. And Grease actually made a lot of good points. So, number 1, Gambit, the man, the Cajun, the raging Cajun. Fucking dude is amazing. Fucking the Bayou Wonder, the thief of fucking whatever. So his real name, for those that don't know, is Remy LeBeau. So I use his real name a lot all the time. So he was actually born to gypsy folk. He's a Bayou Cajun. So he has that thick Cajun accent. He's from a thieves guild of gypsies. So the Gypsy Wanderers. Now the Gypsy Wanderers down in the South, they all had different guilds. He was part of the thieves guild. So he was already learning to be a master thief long before he got his mutant powers, then became a mutant. And unlike the regular humans, the gypsies were like, fuck yeah, we got a mutant. That's super awesome to note because he always started as an anti-hero. So he was then to wed the lead bitch of the assassin tribe of the gypsies. He decided to dip out on that because fuck that bitch and I don't want to get married. And do you see how sexy I am? I'm gonna fuck bitches all day long.
So he's kind of full of himself, and that's a good trait. That's a fun trait.
Oh, he's super full of himself. He's super cocky, super arrogant, believes that he can talk any girl into bed, and that's exactly how I feel. You give me 5 minutes, I guarantee I'm gonna drop them panties, baby.
Unless you don't, but even then, there's always the next chick.
No, I'm sorry. You give me 5 minutes alone with a woman, and them panties are dropping hard. Like lead. But he becomes a thief, and he's thieving for a lot of people. He's thieving for a lot of people. And he eventually thieves for Magneto, and he decides to work for the X-Men, and he's kind of that anti-hero. And matter of fact, fun fact that goes with Grizz, Gambit and Wolverine are best friends. They actually eventually become best friends.
Yep. So
that's why I got so in depth with Wolverine, because here's Wolverine, this kind of hard ass that doesn't like anybody, and yet he takes a shine to this kind of gambling tramp of Gambit, and then again, like Grizz said, the cards, and Wild knows it because I had a lot of old videos. I even tagged him in some of the old videos. I did some for him. I actually do know sleight of hand, and I do know magic. I'll have to put those videos back up. So Gambit's always been number 1. Now again, he's another mutant that started as a level 3 kinetic energy that he could transfer, and it's not just cards that he could do it. He could do it to anything. And as a matter of fact, one of my favorite comic books,
everything.
One of my favorite comic books is he was playing poker with Wolverine, and Wolverine was taking all his money, and he's like, you know what, I gotta go take a piss. And he takes a drink of his coffee cup and puts it down and blows Wolverine all to hell. Wolverine comes out and he's all like healing and everything. He's like, and he goes, you just do that because you can. And he goes, you're the only friend I can blow up. But no, he becomes a level 5 because there was a comic book where it was one of the spin-off comic books where he actually finally married Rogue. Rogue died. Well, Rogue was murdered. Almost all of humanity, basically. It was almost like a witch hunt kind of thing. And Gambit had enough of the Earth. And he put his hands on the Earth and put everything. He put his entire mutant energy, put all his life force into the Earth and blew up the Earth. Fuck everybody. No, you don't kill Rogue. And that's another thing, too. He has that fucking awesome, tragic love story with Rogue where, like, here's this beautiful woman that he saw Rogue one time, instant fucking hard on, loved her from the moment he saw her, cannot touch her.
Can't touch her, I know that one.
Now, for Gambit being a very tactile, very sexual, very sensual person, does not be able to touch the woman he loves, that's a thing in itself. And you would think that'd be a deterrent. No, that makes him love her all the more. Matter of fact, many times stealing a kiss from her, purposely putting himself out and waking up and saying it was completely worth it.
Oh,
yeah.
So he was almost like a hopeless romantic too.
He very much so.
With her. He was very smitten with her.
So Grizzly, you're number one.
Well, if you haven't quite figured it out yet, because you and I, we've talked a lot about this.
Yeah.
My number one is now and probably always will be the Hulk.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, but that's good. Now, why the Hulk?
I like the fact that all he has to do is get mad and he breaks shit. The only time you know you need to run for cover and kiss your ass goodbye is when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
Because then you know shit is really bad. 99.99% of the time he's going to take care of the problem.
Or if he gets flustered because he can't break something, then it will be broken. Yeah, you've told us about your love for the Hulk in the past, which is good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Hulk is a good beast, but I don't know. I feel like he doesn't get enough attention.
He doesn't,
and I feel like he doesn't get enough attention because he's got that overwhelming flaw, and that is, well, again, it depends on what comic book and what movie you're watching. But when he becomes the Hulk, there's no control.
Yeah.
So he's not. Is he really a hindrance to or is he really an asset to the team?
Or is he hindering him? Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you watched the last Avengers movie that they did,
Age of Ultron.
If you paid attention, he did finally gain control of him.
Actually, he didn't, because of Ragnarok. It shows that there's no control.
2019 possibility of a Gambit movie. Just saying.
We've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, they've been mowing that over for a long time.
They even when they were really in serious talks, they even cast Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I don't like it at all. I fucking hate Channing Tatum. I hate him so much. I hate him with every fiber of my being. Okay. If I ever saw him on the street, I'd cock smack him.
Okay.
He'd probably like you. He'd probably start rubbing up on you and doing his little XXX dance to you. And
make a nice cock. But, okay, well, you guys know what mine is. I mean, I don't even have to say it. Mine is Batman. Everything about him is awesome. He has the best villains. He has, he, even though Gambit talks shit about, like, oh, my parents were murdered, I'm Batman.
Martha!
Yeah, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Hey, pretty lady. Do you want to know my secret identity?
That's the truth.
Every pretty woman.
That's mostly the movies, but yeah. Bruce Wayne! But, Batman, I don't even have to explain why I like Batman. Batman is just an amazing hero. He's an amazing, and I say hero, he's actually vigilante, but he's fucking awesome, and he actually starts working with the police. He's one of those guys that, he's Bruce Wayne is rich, but he kind of worked himself up from the bottom as far as being a vigilante goes, right?
So I give Batman a lot of shit. I give him a lot of shit.
You do.
I give him a lot of shit. But I will admit that he is the best martial artist in the DC universe.
I agree.
And it just is. And being a martial artist myself, and knowing that I don't have superpowers and how hard martial arts is and how long of a journey it is, to be recognized, to be able to fight better than most superheroes with superpowers because you're just that good at martial arts. Could you imagine for one day Batman with half the abilities, like power level wise, as Superman? He'd be fucking unstoppable.
He'd be unstoppable.
As a matter of fact, that's how he beats Superman more often than not, is because when he throws kryptonite at Superman and Superman becomes mortal and he just beats the living tar out of him. I mean, just beats the shit out of him. Like, it's not even fair. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. When Superman, he can high five Batman into the ground. But like, when he's mortal, nobody can touch Batman's martial art abilities. Not even Oliver Queen, who's, you know, the Green Arrow. You know, and he's a great martial artist too. No, nobody touches fucking the man who's trained by the League of Assassins and was one of the best in the League of Assassins. Like, that is next level awesome shit. So, I mean, yeah, I get it.
I'm gonna do one honorable mentions, but the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank.
Oh man, JDF for the win.
You know,
I'm literally wearing his shirt right now.
Yeah. It's just, you know, and again, I'm not a huge fan of the Power Rangers, the TV series, but Jason David Frank was just a fucking amazing. He's not only an amazing actor, martial artist, but he's an amazing human being.
I got to give it up. It's funny because none of us said female superhero, so that's mine. And she almost became my number 2. She really is really close. And that is Rogue.
Rogue, yeah.
Rogue. Now I love Rogue to death, but the reason why I kept her off my top 5 is because the one thing I can't stand about Rogue is the constant whining and complaining about, like, my life is ruined because I can't touch anybody. It's like,
well, if you think about it, she's like a cat in heat that can't get fucked.
No, yes, she can. You just wear a latex condom and pull your dick out through your pants.
What fun is that, bro? If
you're allergic to latex.
No.
Sheepskin, bro.
How many condoms you ever use with women, Gambit?
First of all, I
just like that. I asked the question. First of all. Go on.
First of all, a gentleman never kisses and tells.
Bullshit.
And second of all, I always strap up.
You forget I know you.
I always.
And you know me.
Always.
Bullshit.
Actually.
But yeah, Rogue, I understand what you mean by Rogue, but in her bitching and moaning and stuff, but that's my point. Like,
see, that's the thing I love about Marvel. Marvel makes much better women. The reason why females don't make my top 10 is because as a male, I don't relate with the female problems. When I read a comic book, and Wild, you said it best. We're naming people that we either see ourselves as or people that we want to be.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't look at Rogue, Storm, and Wonder Woman and go, that's who I want to be. Female problems in comic books. And Marvel doesn't do the stereotypical. I mean, they do some of the stereotypical, but they do it for guys too, you know, male trouble. I don't have male trouble. I have female problems, you know? So, of course, I'm going to lean more towards Gambit. But getting away from those kind of issues, you still have the female problems of just like when Marvel tackled sexism. Yeah. I don't have that problem, so it's hard for me to relate to that. So it's hard for me to really bond with these characters when I don't get relatable. And I think that's true for anybody across the board. We always bond with characters that mirror ourselves or what we want to be. Give it deep thought.
So Grizzly, what are your honorable mentions?
I would love for them to do a movie on this guy. Is Hawkeye. He's a normal dude. Given the opportunity, he could be just like Batman, but shoot and never miss. He's the ultimate sidekick that deserves the spotlight. You know, they put him up against.
Like that. I'm like nodding my head. I really like that line. The ultimate sidekick that deserves the spotlight. That kind of does sum him up kind of perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have him next to Captain America, who is a superhuman. Iron Man, who, without his suit and without his brain, he would just be another rich prick.
Well, he'd probably be dead. But yeah, I like that you thought of Hawkeye because I wouldn't have thought of it.
The Hawkeye is always on my list.
Grizzly, I'm going to go ahead and let you do your review on The Punisher.
The Netflix original, The Punisher. So it actually takes place, about a year or so after his family dies. Yeah, so after he completely kills, or he thinks he kills, everyone involved with the death of his family. I don't know, it kind of throws you for a loop. They bring in this NSA person from Afghanistan. It's an investigation about an Afghan police officer who was killed, brutally, tortured and killed. She finds out that it was military personnel. Yeah. Long story short, it's a really long fucking story.
Mm-hmm. It was very good. It was a very good season. It was fun to watch. When the action did happen, it felt good. I know that I watched one episode and I even posted it on the YouTube page. One episode especially felt like GTA, Grand Theft Auto.
It was as if you were watching a heist played out.
Yeah, it was pretty good. How many nerd boners would you give the Netflix Punisher?
I was skeptical when I first started watching it, because the guy that plays the Punisher, John Bernthal, I didn't really like him. I didn't like him. All because of The Walking Dead.
I didn't know he was in The Walking Dead.
The guy that was boning Rick's wife.
He was Shane. Okay.
I didn't really like him. Halfway through episode 1, it's like, this guy is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. Good actor.
Amazing. So when it comes to nerd boners, I would give it probably a 9.
Okay.
I might actually sit down and watch it because I really do need to watch it. I really want to watch it because I do love the premise of the Punisher. I just wanted to watch Daredevil before I got into it.
Okay,
I think that's what I thought I should do.
I don't blame you. I did watch the Daredevil series before it came out, and then I watched it. And I would, as far as nerd boners, I would give it definitely like an 8 because it was just amazing. We'll go ahead and let Gambit rant about Star Wars because he got to see this new Star Wars movie. There will be no spoilers because some of us have not seen it.
So this will be a spoiler free. Now before I say that, let me just say that I had 4 people unfriend me on Facebook because I told people that I was going to give spoilers, and I was a man of my word. I gave every fucking spoiler out on Facebook. And here's the reason why. Because fuck you. If you're a real fan, go watch it the night of. Like, I don't give a shit.
Some people work for a living and work
I don't care. Don't care.
Queer job. Go to the fucking movie theater. Fucking ignore your job.
Just tell them you have explosive diarrhea. So without being able to do a spoiler episode, I can't really get into anything about it because there's almost no way. It falls between a 4 and a 6 for me. It's probably like a 5, maybe even a 5.9. Pushing a 6. The CGI graphics were amazing. It flowed very well from the 7th movie. It was not a shot-for-shot remake of number 5. That's a big plus.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoyed aspects of it. I will say that there was a fight scene that was super fucking dope. Super fucking dope fight scene. Which I was really fucking awesome with. There was a super good second fight scene, which was hilarious and awesome. So there were some good moments. There were some fuck yeah, sit up in your seats moments. But it sadly falls on a 6. And the reason why, without being spoiler free, is because for those nerds out there, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, the type of humor that's in that is the kind of humor they try to write into Star Wars. And that's just not the kind of humor that fits in the Star Wars.
It's not a Star Wars universe humor.
It's not Star Wars universe humor, and they try to write it to match the humor that's going on right now, and I just didn't like it. Again, we'll go more into it later with my reaction video, but it's a solid 6. Go out, see it. I definitely recommend going to see it. I even definitely recommend going to see it in theater. So that means I am recommending not waiting till it's on Netflix or on DVD. I'm recommending you go spend your money to go see it. It is definitely worth going to see it in the theater, and it was definitely better than number 2, Attack of the Clones. So it's not the worst movie in the trilogy. There's just a lot of flaws with it, and I'll get into that with my reaction video. But
it's still not The Empire Strikes Back, though.
I would actually give it a solid 6 nerd boners.
Okay,
solid 6. I'd give it a solid 6 nerd boners. But I'll get into more of that later. So definitely go watch it. It was a great time, and I love channeling my inner Sith and just ruining it for everybody. Like, literally, the comments were hilarious on my Facebook. Your hatred fuels me. Yeah. Believe it or not, which was really freaky, my theater was only half full.
Really?
Yeah, like the whole bottom section wasn't even full. The whole top section wasn't even full. I would say it's even like 3/4 empty. Then again, I did go see it on 11:30 at night. So
yeah, but a lot of people would go that first night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And we got there. We got great seats. It was great. That's it. That there it is right there, guys.
If you're a Star Wars fan, but and don't mind a little CG in your Star Wars again, go watch Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So I guess with that said and done, everyone, I think we're gonna wrap up here. We'll see you definitely next week. We're glad that you guys stuck with us through episode 75, this mini boss episode. And Grizzly, you have anything you have to say?
Thank you for sticking with us. 75 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Quite an accomplishment.
Oh yeah, and they're still coming.
Always stay sexy out there. Always
go out, go watch, go support Star Wars. Go watch it. I definitely recommend it. Thank you for all the feedback online. To everybody out there talking about it. And because of the topic today, our top 5 favorite superheroes, please in the comment section, guys, go down and give us your top 5. Let us know who your top 5 is, because we want to build this community up. If you're on our Discord page, shoot us your top 5 there. Either way, to chat with the nerds, man. Other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for listening once again.
All right. Once again, I'll go ahead and remind you guys that we do have the giveaway going on, the SNES Classic. It's thriving. We got a lot of people applied, and just as a reminder, you can apply too. Just follow the link below and click it and follow the instructions and go from there, and you might win yourself an SNES Classic. But till then, nerds, we'll see you on episode 76. And remember, after episode 80, we'll be taking a small break because it'll be the end of the season. Everyone, stay sexy.
Always.
Peace.